How's it going, everybody? And it's your old pal Joker here with Motorsports Joker. And today, I'm going to be back with a blast from the past with this 1990 score NFL football card collection. Since it's Super Bowl weekend, I decided this video would be dedicated to football. And thank you all very much for watching my short yesterday with my dog of her picking the Eagles treat for the winner of the Super Bowl. She likes those treats, and I decided maybe which one would be which one she would pick out for her to who would win, and she picked the Eagles. And I actually got those from a place called Wolfgang Bakery, and I will recommend anyone buying treats for your dogs, for all those who have dogs. Thank you for all. I really didn't expect that video to get so many views. I put it up like yesterday, and in just 1 hour it was going up, and I couldn't believe it. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you all very much. And before we start with this box, I would like to show you what cards that I've gotten this week, because I'm also a collector of other sports as well, like basketball and baseball. And first of all, I would like to show off, of course, this Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl MVP Mosaic Orange Blast. I picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. As y'all know, my dog picked the Eagles. Let's see if her prediction comes true. But here's a Patrick Mahomes. Here's a Super Bowl MVP from when they won that season. Let's see if he gets it again. This Adam Thielen, I can't say his last name, card. He's one of the best receivers for the Minnesota Vikings. I like that color too, by the way. It matches the uniform. This Trevor Lawrence Orange Blast card. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's gonna be really good for the Jaguars. He kind of reminds me of John Elway, or maybe too early to tell that, but he's pretty good. And when he saw that comeback against Justin Herbert and the Chargers in that game, man, that game was wild. That was probably one of the best games of the season, in the playoff season. He's pretty good, too, for 6'5", and he can throw the ball, he can run, he can move. Yeah, I would say he's probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Hopefully, if he stays healthy and he stays out of trouble. Now, on to basketball, this Luka Doncic rookie card. And I'm surprised this card was worth $80. And it says right here that before he played in his rookie season, the late great Kobe Bryant said, "Watch out for this guy," because he was going to be one of the next great NBA players in the league. And Kobe was right. I'm a Spurs fan, but I like when I see good talent and when I see players doing well in Texas, and he's one of the best ones here in Texas, even though I'm a Spurs fan, but I respect Luka Doncic. And this Fernando Tatis Jr. Stained Prism glass card, this is a really nice card. I got this in the prison box from Target. I'm surprised I was able to pull this card out of that box. And it's an amazing card. He's one of the best players in the league for the Padres. He's got that huge contract with, I think it was Adidas, paying them $300 million, which is amazing for someone who tested positive for PED. But, yeah, man, I guess with you're talented in baseball, money talks, and as long as he's able to sell them, I guess he could get away with it. And this Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card right here. Well, it's not his rookie card. It's a 1990 Topps All-Star card. And his rookie card was a 1989 Topps. But this one was a really nice card. I pulled this out of the complete set of the 1990 Topps. And as you guys can tell right here, he has a bloody scar right here. So, and I ended up taking this to a store, a card store here. And I showed it to him. He said it was an error card, and it's really valuable. I saw one on eBay for about like $8,000. I don't think I would get that amount for this one because it's off center, and I don't know if you can tell right here, there's a little bit of damage in the corner right here. It's a little bit bent. But I was wondering if any of y'all knew that would this card still be valuable because it's an Eric card and it has that bloody stain? You can kind of see right there, that scar right here. And I do know they made quite a bit of these back in the when it came out in 1990, but I guess I try to recorrect it when they notice it, and they try to use I don't know what they used on it to cover it up, but this is one of the ones they didn't catch, obviously. So I was wondering if any of y'all knew what this card would be worth, despite it being off-centered and a little bit in the corner right here. So please let me know in the comment section what do you guys think of how much of this Ken Griffey Jr. rookie All-Star card would be worth, this Bloody Scar Era. And I also got this LeBron James limited edition, about a 5,000 silver coin from GameStop. It's, as y'all know, LeBron James broke the NBA scoring record this week, and yeah, anything with LeBron James is really going to go up in value right now. So, and I thought this would be a good idea to get those, especially since there's only 5,000 of these. So, this is a really good, nice collectible to have, especially from GameStop. I got this for like $20, so I think this is worth it. Okay, now on to the nostalgic opening of the 1990 NFL package. Are you guys ready? I am ready, and here we go. So, over this. Man, they really kept this wrapped. Last from the past. You can see Herschel Walker right here. 1990s wrap finally being open. And sadly, this set's not gonna have the 1990 Emmitt Smith rookie card score. That would be in the traded set, and I got this off Amazon. So, had I not known that that card was in the traded set, I would have gotten that one, but I ended up getting this one. So, always read the front print, amigo. But I ended up getting this, but hopefully there's still valuable cards in here. I know there's a Junior Seau rookie card in here, Joe Montana, Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, there's so many good cards that still would pay off this box. No kidding that the Emmitt Smith would definitely pay off the box and more, but I didn't read the Amazon logo really good. But lesson learned. Always read. Okay, and it's factory sealed. Has not been opened. Look at that. Still has bends from the corners right here. Here's Reggie Remmert. What was it back here? Putting in the pack. By the way, did y'all know that on the Super Bowl, Travis Kelce and Jason, I think his name, the center for the Eagles, is Jason Kelce, are playing against each other? Unbelievable. Well, they're not playing each other in defense versus offense, but they're both offensive players, but their teams are facing each other. And I don't think that's ever happened before where two Bills would face each other in a Super Bowl before. This will probably be a first, or maybe it has, but I'm not sure. But that's really something cool to see. I wonder if their parents are... Who's rooting for the other son right there? I would like the the Chiefs to win, so I'm rooting for Travis Kelce. So which one is Wow, look at this. That's Oxford Jason from when the box was first made. So this pack's never been opened. Oh, there's some Oxford Jason in the cards right here as well. Hopefully, the cards are not damaged. So, here we go. First, take out these. Oh, it's a little bit bent from these over here. This set's carrying Series 1 and 2. So hopefully these cards are not damaged at all. And from the looks of it, they're in pretty much good shape. I can't complain about that. Brent Brosek's is a rookie and is a Hall of Famer as well. It's a little bit bent right here on the corner, but this is still a pretty good card. Yeah. Glenn Brosek, Hall of Famer. I have his Fleer card too, but he's playing with the Chicago Bears on that one. Cortez Kennedy. He was a big-time defensive lineman back in the day. He was like the J.J. Watt of the NFL at that time. He sadly passed away in the 2000s. Percy Snow, another Hall of Famer. Aaron Wallace. Oops. James Williams. Mark Carrier. Jimmy Jones. Keith Sims. A little bit on the screen. Andre Ware. Amazing. Keith Macketts. He was a big-time, huge prospect for the Buccaneers, but didn't pan out. Mike Villani. Reggie Ribbard. Harold Green. Ronald Turnbull. Alexander Wright. Daryl Thompson. Some of these cards are stuck together. Fred Washington. Anthony Johnson. Alton Montgomery. Blair Thomas. Anthony Thompson. Mark Carrier. Terry Wooden. Kerry Conlon. Kyle Gardner. Keith Macketts right there, player. Vince Buck. Eric Green. Steve Brillsford. Montgomery. Dennis Brown. Leroy Butler. Tony Casillas. Jesse Anderson. Andre Collins. Darren Moore. Jeff Mills. Mike Jones. Tim Gunderud. Some of these cards stuck together. Unbelievable. I might have to look at some of these cards again, see if it's one I missed out on. Scott Mitchell, James Williams, Lamar Lathan, Jeff George. Also looking for that Junior Sale card, rookie card as well. John Morris, Mike Fox, Dexter Carter, Ron Cox, Ricky. Okay. There's more. Tim Ryan. Maurice Hurst. That's interesting. Would have thought that Junior Sale card was in here. May have missed out. Look at it again. Ron Cox. Some of these cards were stuck together, so maybe I don't want to miss out on any cards that I potentially didn't reveal. Hopefully that Junior Sale card is in here. Let's see. Willard, Brown. Yeah, Junior Sale card, rookie card for this one will probably run around like $50, so that's pretty good. I ended up getting this box right here for like $80, so. Usually the ones from the 1990s are getting now more expensive because of the established players are in this set already. The most famous player from this set is, of course, Emmitt Smith. You don't know why. 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer. All-time leader rusher and 18,000 yards. Well, we all know the Dallas Cowboys tanked to get that first-round draft pick, and it paid off. You know, we got 3 Super Bowls right there. Nope, he's not in this set. Thank God. I didn't miss him. So, all right, he's still being here. All right, Mike Owens, Harold Jeffries, Will McGovern, Gerald Williams. Michael Carter. Oof, man. It looked nice, too, from the back. This is some good photography. Wow. These cards are a really great share for being 1990. From 30 years old. Larry Helms, Herman Faulkner, Danny Villa, Matt Fire, Fred Strickland, Neil Smith, Jonathan Hayes. Wow. Derek Thomas. This is a good one. All-time great linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Sadly passed away. Right. Yeah, him and Lawrence Taylor, one of the best linebackers in the league in those times. Put that in a protective sleeve. I think I should probably get, if I send this get graded, get like a 10. Should be a 10. Hopefully a 10. Usually I get 9s or 8s when I get my cards graded. Scott Flutie, Pat Breach, Walker Lee Adams, Ernie Jones, Don Griffin, San Francisco 49er, Matt Millen, Keena Turner, Rich Striller, Gerald Williams, Cleveland. Wow, this is really stuck. Cleveland Gray. Wow. Ivy Pankey, Michael Ball, Bob Gullock, one of the Gullock brothers, Tony Eason, whoops, Doug Flutie, College Football Hall of Famer, Jim Burt. We all know who Doug Flutie is. I should just go watch that college football where he threw that Hail Mary and the receiver caught it. Y'all know who Doug Flutie is. It was back in 1984, I think, when that famous pass happened. Sammy Weiner, Don Mosbar, William Perry the Fridge, and Maury Buford. Yeah, William. This dude was huge back in the 80s. He was a big part of that 1985 Chicago Bears team that won the Super Bowl. That dude was huge, man. He could freaking move like a running back for someone of his size. They used him as fullback when they won that Super Bowl, and I'm pretty sure when the defense saw him coming in, they were not going to stop that. Even if they tried, he would just bulldoze him. Good luck trying to stop a 300-pound fullback running full speed at you. Those arms. Okay, so still looking for that junior sale card. Daryl Nilsson. Wow, look at all these cards are really stuck to each other. Randy Dixon. I'm gonna go really slow right here. Aaron Cox. Another rookie. These have a nice photography too, by the way. I'm glad the picture was not damaged during these 30 years. Ed Reynolds, Leo Lewis, Mike Morin, Mike Webster, Hall of Famer, Otis Anderson. There's another, oh, okay. Jerry Robinson, Tracy Rocker, Leonard Griffin, Terry McDaniel, Sean Jones, Clarence Clay, Gary Broadrim, Art Steele, Al Harris, Doug Risenberg, and John Roper. Okay. So far, some good players. Not really much Hall of Famers yet. Only one. And, okay, Delone. But we got so many cards left to go, so let's keep our hopes up. We should be running into some Hall of Famers pretty soon. Ricky Sanders, Brian Winkle, Ken Ruggers, Tony Woods, Crazy Zimmerman, David Wyman, Vince Glenn, Tim Manoa, Keith Van Horn, Dean Schluger, Big Time Olair back in the day, Derek Kenward, Mike Can, and Winston Moss. Trying to not go too fast with these cards because they're pretty old and I don't want to do any damage to these cards with my fingers. I should be doing this with gloves. Next time when I do a video, I'm going to use gloves when I open up the 1991 Skybox for NBA. That was the basketball box where Michael Jordan, where there was a Michael Jordan prototype card in there, and that card is worth about like $5,000. So if you find that it's worth PSA 10, then it's a $5,000 card. And I have those boxes, Series 1 and Series 2, so hopefully he's in there. So that video will be coming up after this one. Bill Romanowski, big time 49er, and with the Broncos, 4-time Super Bowl champion. Eric Barton, Mark Duper, Joe Pronut, Mike Bortz, another Hall of Famer, Chicago Bear. It's His brother was the first card I pulled out. Reggie Williams, Tony Jordan, Miles Carton, Heath Sherman, John Grimsley, Joe Wolf, Perry Kemp, Eric Martin, Alex Lager, former Cowboy, former Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys, Steve Swell, Ron Wolfley, Henry Thomas, Maron Fernandez, Keith Willis, Tony Benson, Jeff Gossett, Andre Waters, Norm Johnson, Tim Spencer, Albert Lewis, Cedric Jones, Doug Smith, Sean Gale. This guy was a big-time Bear. Good cornerback. Bobby Butler, Ron Thomas, Travis Strawberry, Darren Cherry, Mike Weber, Jesse Slubby, Mike Ingram, Alfonso Corner, William Howard, Fred Banks, and Ricky Nato. So looking for that James Seria card. Jeff Farrett, Hot Gun, Errol Farrell, Greg Floyd, Jenny Herbert, Carl Lee, Chris Singleton, Eric Shivers, Steve Jordan, Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer, all-time great with the Buffalo Bills. Ended up going on with those Dallas Cowboys, but lost every time he went to the Super Bowl. Can you imagine losing 4 Super Bowls in a row? That's hard. Mark Lee Dykes, Jeff Taser, and Joey Lee Roller, Jeff Am. Let's put a sleeve on the Jim Kelly card. See how much that was worth later. Burt Grossman, Lynn James, Richard Webb, Mike Splendor, Joe Schmeech, Bernie Kosar, former quarterback with the Dallas Cowboys. Ended up winning with them too. He was a Troy Aikman's backup in those early years. Al Noga, Jim Hasty, Reggie Ribbard. And there it is, the Junior Seau rookie card right there. It's one of the all-time great linebackers. First started his career with the San Diego Chargers. Then he went on to the New England Patriots, where he ended up teaming up with Tom Brady and that great defensive unit right there with the New England Patriots in 2007. But sadly, they lost against the New York Giants in that team when they won up against Giants in that Super Bowl. I was surprised that the Giants won that year. I was rooting for the Cowboys, but they ended up being the Cowboys and ended up getting into the Super Bowl that season. It was a season when the Patriots were part of that perfect season. They were like 17-0, and they needed one more win to win the Super Bowl, and they did not get it. That's got to suck, too, at the end. All that hard work and hope that you have a perfect season. You're going to break the Miami Dolphins record for perfect season, coached by the great Don Shula, and to lose right at the end by Eli Manning, who was not even as good quarterback like his brother Peyton Manning, but definitely the better quarterback for that game was Tom Brady. But that just goes to show you never underestimate the underdog, and look what happened. And then Junior Seau retired that year, and years later he sadly passed away, committed suicide. So anything with Junior Seau right now was worth kind of quite a big few bucks. I don't know how much this will be worth if it was graded 10, but I have a Junior Seau rookie card Fleer, and if I have a PSA 10, I think it's worth like $55. So it's pretty good. Cortez Kennedy, another Hall of Famer, great. Played with the, I think it says Miami. Yeah, he played with the Miami Hurricanes at that time. Coach was Dennis Eckerson. Easy. Cortez had a superb speed, 40. He had wow, in the 40 race, 4.87. That's crazy for someone his size. Man, this dude was a monster back in the day. 96. Great career with the Seattle Seahawks. Though, if I imagine he played for another team, like, I don't know, for the 49ers or Dallas Cowboys, he would definitely have won a Super Bowl. Put that in the sleeve. Percy Snow. Andre Ware. Ronnie Hampton. Jaws. Whatever happened to him. All right, Barry Sanders. There we go. Another Hall of Famer. This guy would run. He would make you miss his tackles. This guy was a speedster for his size. Fortunately, he ended up paying for football limbo up there in Detroit, though. If he had played for another team, most definitely he would have had Super Bowl. No question. No question he would have had one. And, yeah, him and Emmitt Smith were probably the greatest running backs in the early 1990s from that time. Emmitt Smith would kind of run towards the tackles, but he would make a miss with his cut and jukes. This guy would full speed run towards you, but he would make you miss with his famous jukes. He would spin. Yeah. He was a really good burner when he came to running the ball. Put that in the sleeve. Who do you think is the best running back in the NFL ever? Let me know in the comment section. Is it Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton? Let me know. I pick Emmitt Smith, but that's just me. Dan Marino, a all-time great. Put that in the sleeve as well. Sadly, never won a Super Bowl. The only guy who, during the 1985 season, he was the only quarterback who was able to beat the Bears. So he ended up breaking the Bears' perfect season. Ben Smith, Tim Roda, Greg Bell, Mohamed Elabini. I don't want to say these names wrong. Blair Thomas, Mark Ribbon, famous Redskin, James Brooks, Barry Foster, Boomer Esiason, another Hall of Famer with Cincinnati Bengals. One of the great quarterbacks. Was rated 9.2. He was after he retired from the Bengals, he ended up becoming an analyst for Fox NFL. He's not there anymore, so don't imagine what happened to him. So now the great quarterback for Cincinnati is Joe Burrow, but he ended up losing to Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. It wasn't even his fault either. It was that defensive player's fault. Neil Anderson, Hoyle, Joe Montana, Hall of Famers, four-time Super Bowl champion. This is a great card. Look at that perfect center. Yeah, that card's right dead on center right there. If I send it, oh no, it's a little bit. The paint's a little bit faded right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So, I'm 30 years old. Hopefully, I get a 10 for this one. My dad's a big-time 49ers fan. All right, almost there. Pat Turrell, Tony Bennett, Bo Jackson. All right, it's a great running back. I would have think he should have just stick with football. Could have been one of the greatest running backs ever, but he injured his thigh, on that tackle. Man, this dude would run. He was also a great baseball player, but I think he should just stick with playing football. It's really hard to play professional sports, two professional sports at the same time, especially at this time. No one's doing that right now, but the only two players that I know were able to do that were Deion Sanders and this guy right here, Bo Jackson. Roger Craig, Phil Simms. This guy, Phil Simms, two-time Super Bowl champion with the New York Giants, teammate with Lawrence Taylor. And every time I see a Phil Simms card, I think of what Dak Prescott could have been. If he had been like someone like Phil Simms where he relied on his defense and not turned the ball over, Dak Prescott's career would be going a whole different direction. But he's already in his 9th year, and I don't think he's going to change anytime soon or ever until... I just want him to lead the Dallas Cowboys, but that's not going to happen. Dalton Helden, John Frisch, Warren Moon, Hall of Famer. Thurman Thomas. Look at these great Hall of Famers right here. Thurman Thomas is a great running back as well. Sadly, he just played for the Buffalo Bills and ended up losing 4 times in the Super Bowl due to the Dallas Cowboys. 1992-1993, Dallas Cowboys' first repeat. Warren Moon, famous Texas quarterback for the Houston Oilers. Well, back then for the Houston Oilers. Now that team is in Tennessee. I really wish they should have just stayed in Texas. But no, that's great. This card's perfectly dead on center too. But hopefully I would get a 10 for this one. Put that in the sleeve. You can't go wrong with any of these choices of who you want to be your quarterback and who you want your running back. I mean, Texas had some great quarterbacks. Yeah, Earl Campbell with the Oilers. You had Emmitt Smith. You had Dickerson. Herschel Walker's with the Cowboys for a while. Then Jimmy Jones traded him to another team and ended up getting Emmitt Smith. Yeah, to this day, Herschel Walker's still mad about that. Anthony Miller, Ronnie Pete, Gil Bird, Robert Clark, Jim Arnold, Lois Oliver, Bob, I can't say that name, Jimmy Holland, Mark Clayton, Jeff Cross, Keith Jackson, Trace Armstrong, Ralph C.G. Inu, Sean Collins, Tim Green, Russ Grimm, Jerry Ball. All right, Reggie White, amazing. Man, this guy was a huge, huge defensive lineman back in the day. Probably one of the greatest defensive linemen ever. I saw videos where he would just, like, when he would go to try to sack the quarterback, he would just sometimes pick up the defensive tackle and just throw him on the floor and bum rush the quarterback. That's how great this defensive player was. He ended up winning the Super Bowl with Brett Favre in that 1996 season. But then retired when sadly passed away. I'm not sure if he passed away before he made it to Hall of Fame or after, so I'm gonna have to look it up later. But Hall of Famer, greatest defensive lineman of all time. One of the greatest defensive linemen of all time. I think Brett Favre said there was no one else who hit him harder more than Reggie White too. So for one of the greatest quarterbacks there to say that says a lot about this player. Jim Leahy, Dan Hampton, Hall of Famer, 1980 with the 1985 Chicago Bears, defensive end. Put that in the sleeve. Man, I'm getting some good cards already. So far, I don't know how much exactly these cards are worth. I have to look it up later on my Collect app. But I would imagine I've already paid for the box for this set. I imagine, because these are Hall of Famers, great players. Yeah. For sure, on that rookie card. I think I saw this rookie card at the car store for like $60. So, I've already paid for the set, won't like me, and I'm still not done. Jerry Rice, Hall of Famer as well. Probably the greatest wide receiver of all time. And, some say he was the greatest football player ever. My dad was a big fan of his, with him and Joe Montana. By the way, speaking of wide receivers, if Odell Beckham Jr. still thinks that playing with the Dallas Cowboys is going to make the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, they're sadly mistaken. You could have Jerry Rice and Steve Largent on the team, rejuvenated and 20 years younger, and they're still not going to the Super Bowl. You need a good quarterback, not a good wide receiver. Am I right or am I wrong? If you guys think I'm being too harsh on Dak Prescott, please let me know. I don't think I'm being too harsh. I mean, if you're paying someone $40 million a year and for him to throw an interception, well, hell, pay me that money and I'll throw the ball in interception, okay? So, screw you if you think I'm being too hard on him. Jim Swinney, Stephen Michael Mungu. Great defensive tackle for the 1985 Chicago Bears. Yeah, sadly, he's dying of ALS, but I'm going to keep this card. Juwan Johnson, Donnell Thompson, Kevin Porter, Chris Carter, another all-time great wide receiver. Yeah. I didn't know he played for the Eagles, though. That's amazing. Oh, yeah, no, I do remember. Yeah, he played for the Eagles, and then he went on to have his amazing career with Minnesota Vikings and ended up becoming an analyst. And he's definitely in the Hall of Fame as well. Just sad I never got over that hump of not winning the Super Bowl like so many other great players I've already mentioned. Tom Newberry, Chris Spielman, Nelly Smith, Greg Montgomery, Sean Rabin, Lawrence Hill, Reggie Lorne, Joe Hill, Robert Davino, Dave Schuler, all-time great Bengal, Vance Johnson, Ron Stark, Robert Awood, Paul Hallman, Anthony Muse, Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats and Bengals. We'll put that in the sleeve. Looks pretty good. Most of these cards are really good. They're all in a pretty good center. They're better than I thought they were going to be for cards that are 30 years old. And look at that. Even the picture in the back when they're bio is pretty good. Andre Bruce, Clay Matthews, John Ault, Seal Lanza, Shane Collins, Simon Fletcher, Joe Nash, Jay Hamburg, Ronnie Lott, Eddie Anderson, Bill Brooks. So far, I got some really great cards, really good Hall of Famers. Great players, too, from role players from back in the day. I would definitely say I've already paid for that set with those cards. I ended up paying this for like, I think $60 to $70. And I've already made my money back with some of the players that are pulled out. Some are going to center. If I send them to Beckett, I would definitely make my money back. Barry Brewster, Thurman Thomas, right there. All the time. Pants a little bit faded. That's a good card for someone that's 30 years old. Yeah. Put that in the sleeve. Thurman Thomas. I like that helmet too, by the way. They should probably go back to that old uniform. Eugene Marr, Warren Mordson, Steve Altor, Cy Simmons. Ooh, Warren Moon. All right, look at that card. Yeah. If you guys had a choice between Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach, or Warren Moon, what would you guys pick? Let me know in the comment section right there. I would probably go Roger Staubach. He's probably one of the famous. I think he's the most famous Dallas quarterback that the Cowboys have ever had. Scott Gase, Charles Mann, Fred Young, Chris Jackie, Don Hillard, Greg Bell, Roger Craig, Donald Ikubugi, Howie Long, Hall of Famer, one of the great defensive ends for the Oakland Raiders. Oh, Los Angeles Raiders at that time. They were still in Los Angeles at that time. They're now in Las Vegas. I don't know why, but they should have stayed in California. He ended up doing a movie in Broken Arrow after he retired too. So then ended up becoming an analyst for Fox NFL. I'm not sure if he's still there though. Maybe. Von Burr, Stephen Pace, Deion Sanders. All right, look at that. I'm a big Deion Sanders. Congratulations to Primetime for getting that coaching job in Colorado. He definitely deserved it. He was not getting treated right down in Mississippi, so I'm happy for this guy to get that coaching job up in Colorado. Oh, man, I loved him when he was with the Cowboys, man. I'm still ordering that Funko for him for the Dallas Cowboys. So later on, I'm going to get that and review that later in one of these videos. I say he's probably the greatest defensive back ever in the history of the NFL. There's no one like him who would had that speed. He was physical and he was smart too. And he can get inside your head. He would talk trash to you when you were facing him. Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin said that the hardest, toughest defensive backs that they ever played against was Deion Sanders right here. And for two of the most greatest wide receivers of all time to say that, this says a lot about Prime. Put that in the sleeve. Man, I'm really loving this set right here. Series 1 and 2. Charles Haley. Oh, yeah, another all-time great with the Dallas Cowboys. But in this year, he was playing with the San Francisco 49ers. Ended up winning the Super Bowl. Ended up winning 3 Super Bowls with the Cowboys. He's a 5-time Super Bowl champion. Sadly, he's not yet in the Hall of Fame. He should be going in the Hall of Fame soon, but I think he should have made it a long time ago. I know he's in the Cowboys Ring Hall of Honor and the San Francisco Ring of Honor. Bruce Matthews, Hall of Famer. And Dennis Smith. Let's see what other good cards I have right here. Cal Banks, Brian Schulcher, Andre Rierson. All-time great. Not all-time great, but he was a good role player in the NFL wide receiver. We all know he ended up dating that famous musician who passed away in that car accident in Honduras. I think it was Left Eye, which was probably TLC. I mentioned that back in the other video in the Gold Action Pack review. Not a Hall of Famer, but I would definitely keep that card. It's got to be worth something. Mike Dowell, Bob Murphy, Jim Jensen, JoJo Townshell, Kelvin Martin, Jackie Slater, Steve Smith, Thomas Everett, Sean Elliott, Irving, Chris Henson, Sam Mills, Jim Covert, Skip Minglin, Weber Marshall, all-time great with the Bears, Chris Miller, Tony Sendejas, Ronnie Hammond, Tim Worthy, Joe Riggs, Alan Vineyard, Claude Clifton, Scott Norwood, Lawrence Tate, Danny Gregg, Brady Kosar, Bart Oates, Steve Joyner, Andre Reed, Hall of Famer, probably the greatest wide receiver that the Bills have ever had. Yeah, this card's a little bit left to the right. There's a little bit too much to the left right here, so yeah, I would not get a 10 on this card. Maybe an 8 or 9. If you guys decide to get your cards graded and you go to PSA and you get back an 8 or 9, you lose money because sending those cards to get graded are expensive, and it's about like $80 if you don't get the subscription for each card, so it's pretty pricey. Greg Dolman, Randall Cunningham. Ooh. He was one of the all-time great Eagles. Mark Carrier. Oh, Vince Lombardi right there with the Super Bowl. Yeah, one of the Coach Lombardi right there. He named the Super Bowl trophy after him. Lombardi legend. This card is worth something. I'm not sure how much it's worth PSA 10. I will have to look it up later, but this card is valuable for sure. And it's in great condition too. It's perfectly good centered as well. And a perfectly good picture as well. Yeah, there's no damage on the back. I'm surprised these cards are, some of them are in really good condition by how the condition of this box is right here with the oxidation. Gotta take good care of these cards. Super Bowl logo right there. Hall of Famer Bob Creasy. Ended up playing for the Denver Broncos. I think he was John Elway's backup when Elway retired. Almost finished halfway with the box. Oh, Buck Juman, Hall of Famer, Ted Hendricks, Jack Lambert. All right, Tom Landry. Now, if you guys want to see a coach, this is a coach right here. Tom Landry, probably one of the greatest coaches ever. Definitely the best coach one of the best coaches that Dallas Cowboys have ever had, along with Jimmy Johnson. This guy would make you fear him. If you mess up like Dak Prescott messes up on the field, throwing 2 interceptions and one close to the red zone, no, scratch that. One near the red zone and they give it back for a pick 6. This guy would get mad at you. He would do it in a quiet way. I wouldn't see any videos of him on YouTube when they were chew it out, but he would let you know, yeah, you fucked up. Bad. This guy will let you know in his own way, but his players respected him. Roger Staubach respected this guy. This is a coach, guys. This is a coach. Not that coach that we have right now with Mike McCarthy. The only reason Mike McCarthy won that Super Bowl is he had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers made that guy. How the heck do you call play like that? How are you the head coach and you don't call the head with the plays for your quarterback? I don't get that. Why are they paying you, man? Why are you there? If you guys don't think I'm being too hard on that, you know what? I'm just tired of losing. I want to win. We're one of the most valuable teams in the league. The Cowboys are worth $22 billion with a capital B, and we still freaking lose every season. We haven't won since 1995. Why do you talk all that smack every time we begin a season? America's team. This is our year. We're going to do it. We're going to make it. Oh, yeah. I feel it. You lose in the first round of the playoffs, man. Who does that? Oh, St. Clair. Ooh, Franco Harris right there. Love that. Hall of Famer. Sadly passed away this year. No, late last year. One of the great running backs that the Steelers have ever had. I'm running out of sleeves right here. I gotta get some more. Joe Montana. Willie Anderson. Steve Largent, Hall of Famer. Bo Jackson. Jerry Rice. Sterling Sharp, Shannon Sharp's brother. Keith Jackson. Anthony Muse, Hall of Famer. Gary Zimmerman. Tom Newberry. Bruce Matthews, Hall of Famer. Jay Hannenberg. Joe Montana. Christian Oil. Barry Sanders. Eddie Murray. Elizuda. Ron Woodson. David Meggett. Chris Darwin. Reggie White. I was about to go there. This is probably when they were in their Pro Bowl. Man. By the way, I think the Pro Bowl now sucks. Yeah, you had one player say that this sucks. I forgot the name of that player, but he didn't like it when they were playing. They couldn't, really tackle each other or hit each other. Tim Harris, Lawrence Taylor. All right, my first Lawrence Taylor card of this set. This is a good set. This is a good card right here. Andy Lawrence Taylor is really valuable. He's one of the all-time great Giants. Changed the game for linebackers. One of the great blitzers of all time as well. Sterling Sharp, Shannon Sharp's brother. Mike Singletary, great linebacker, Hall of Famer. Albert Lewis, Jim Gray. Ronnie Lott, Fluger. John Elway. All right, first John Elway card of this set. Randall Cunningham, Otis Anderson, Herschel Walker, former Cowboy. Andre Reed, Mark Carrier, Art Monk, Rocket Man. Yeah, well, one of the great all-time wide receivers for the Washington Commanders. Still think it's a terrible name. But Hall of Famer as well. The Cowboys hated this guy. Jerry Rice. Tim Harris. Mike Singletary is a good card right here. Derek Thomas. Ooh, that's a good one. And Lawrence Taylor. Wow, this is a good card. I have another one of these cards. You get a better grade it's worth like $60. So this card is a good one. I gotta put sleeves on this one later. Clark Mingenberg, Lewis Billups, Johnny Meads, Brett Williams, Tyrell Baxton, Ken Sims, Ed Baker, Mike Quick, Ron Rivera, coach for the Washington Commanders. Might lose his job now because the Commanders keep losing every season. It's been 1991 since they last won Super Bowl. Ari Eggerson, a junior. John Forcade, Mark Lee. Man, this card's gonna be stuck together. Freeman McNeil, Scott Davis, Carl Xander, Bruce Wilkinson, Mike Pryor, who was a big-time hitter for the Colts. Tommy Irvin, Jay Schroeder, Vest Jackson, Bruce Armstrong, Chris Sandler, Mike Merriweather, Dominic Kumux, Lord Tillman, and Bruce. I can't say that name. Almost finished here. Whoops. Look at these cards. These are amazing cards. I like the way that's the art, the pictures, the photography is good, the bio is good, everything's good about this. For some 30 years old, this guy kept good care of him, and now I got him. Yeah, these are collectibles. Someone said to sell some of my collection. I think I'm gonna hang on to them real quick for a while, and then I'll sell them later on. Mike Schuler, Ron Holmes, John Johnson, Ozzie Newsome, Ray Horton, James, Randy Grimes, Perry Williams, Butch Royal, Ray Townsend, Mike Wise, Lewis Sharp, Larry Roberts, John Hand, Eugene Robinson, Andre Tibbett, one of the great Patriots of all time. Kevin Fagan, Bruce Rimmers, Lee Williams, Lionel Washington. Whoops. Chris Martin. Robert Iles. Mark Frozier. Michael Coffer. Michael Brooks. Roy Green. Tom Thayer. Joey Kelly. Kevin Mack. Mike Saxon. Jarvis Williams. Scott Stizzo. James. Leonard Marshall. Again, Joe Green, Tim Brown. I have a bunch of those cards. Nick Lowry, Clarence Verdon, John Hector, Wes Hopkins, David Galloway, Joe Velasquez, Courtney Hall, Bruce Coleman, Jeff Bryant. See if I can find some of these Junior Seau cards when he was in his San Diego Chargers uniform. Pepper Johnson was one of the great Giants. We'll check that out later. Greg Danson, Eddie Brown, Ernest Biner fumbled that ball in the Cleveland Browns playing against the Denver Broncos in that AFC game. Ricky Jackson, Ruben Davis, Webster Slaughter, Guy McIntyre, Evan Rhino, Ernest Gibbons, Paul Gruber, Mike Rybin, Fro Drummond, Prayers Holt, JT Smith, Outtoon, Anthony Carter. Make some room right here. There's a really amazing set. Almost finished with this set. Let you guys go here. Evan Fryer, John J. Williams, Steve Lutheran, Frank Reich. Frank Reich was that famous quarterback who came back in that after halftime to win that game. They were down by like 20-something points. Mark Robinson, Stanley Morgan, Ron Henry, Mark Logan, Michael Walter, Lewis Tillman, Sammy Smith, Rufus Porter, Don Waring. Just finished here. Really good. So far, no more Hall of Famers, at least that I know of, and a lot of good role players though. So looking for some of that Junior Seau card, Lawrence Taylor as well. Missing that one. Should be in these next couple of hands right here. Anthony Tony, always a tuner. Pete Stanovich. Trying to see if I'm not sticking together. Ken O'Brien, Jesse Tuggle, Brian Noble, Mark Kelso, Jack Triddle, Tim Harris, Pete Landy, Steve Wozowski, Steve DeBerg, Vinny Tesseroni, played with the Cowboys for a while. Mark Rubel, Barrett Hamilton, Jeff Linky, Keith Woodside, Cornelius Bennett, Ron Woodson, Nate Jones, Some of these guys I'm not naming. Whoops. So, looking at James Sale card, still ain't sharp right there. Had he not hurt his knee, would have been great. Yeah. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this Super Bowl for sure. I just think the better quarterback between Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. With more experience. He's been in this situation before, and he's such a badass too. He sprained his ankle, and he ended up winning that game against the Bengals. And then I ended up picking the Bengals to win that game. He proved me wrong. Mark Jackson, Gary Clark, Dave Tewerson, Gary Reason. Plus, I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Anyone from our division, I hope they lose. But Marcus Allen, Hall of Famer. One of the greatest running backs of all time. Oops, let me find out. Protect this leaf. Yeah. Him and Bo Jackson were great together. But Marcus Allen had the better career, though. Dave Brown, Keith Jones, and Jim Snow. Almost finished here. And, watching that, excited for Rihanna going to be in that Super Bowl halftime show. Man, she was hot back then. She's still hot, but she was really pretty back in the day. She's, that song I picked, Run This Down Tonight, and the reason I picked that song for that short was because she's going to be in a halftime show. And I thought, hey, this would be a good idea putting it in this short for this Super Bowl. Richard Johnson, Henry Lillard, Kenny Murphy, Brian T. Benson. Then after football is pretty much over, I'm going to concentrate on basketball and baseball. And hopefully the Cowboys pick players in the draft and the trade. I hope they trade. I think Ezekiel Elliott said he might get take a pay cut. But nah, man, we don't want you to take a pay cut. We want you to get the up on out of here, man, because you're not it anymore. He's slower now, and I think he's banged up. And running back years will typically now last for 7 years in the NFL. And the reason Emmitt Smith lasted 12 years because he was able to avoid those tackles, and Ezekiel Elliott bulldozes the defenders, so that takes a toll in his body. Not that he was not good back in the day, but I think all those hits are catching up with him now. Dennis Gentry, Rich Dixon, Kevin Byers, Robert Massey, Schmoo, Barney Williams. Kent Hull. Then going to basketball, the NBA All-Star is coming up pretty soon. I'm watching that. We all know LeBron James broke the all-time scoring record. By the way, what about that new trade with Kevin Durant going to the Phoenix Suns, teaming with Devin Booker and Chris Paul? Can you imagine that? That trade ended up changing the whole dynamic of the NBA in that one night. The Suns are now the favorites to win the finals. I don't think the Warriors are going to go anywhere. They're all banged up. And Steph Curry has an injured ankle, and he's going through some BS right now where he says he doesn't want a low-income family living in his nice mansion. Oh, boo-hoo you, man. Definitely not picking the Warriors now. I would say the Suns are one of the favorites now to win the NBA Finals. And here's the thing, too. If the Suns win the Finals, the Warriors, what's going to happen to Draymond Green? Do you think Draymond Green is going to stay with the Warriors, or do you think he's going to end up going to another team? What team would that be? You think he's going to end up going with the Phoenix Suns? That would be one heck of a team roster right there. If Chris Paul decides to retire if they do win, I don't know how much Chris Paul has left in the tank. He's been in the league since I was in high school. I would imagine that he would probably hang it up. And he had an amazing career. And after he's been wanting to get that NBA Finals, he was so close a couple of years ago and ended up losing. I'd say he's been on the mission. And I would definitely say he has something to say about getting Kevin Durant over here as well. But I would say, yeah, maybe they are the favorites now to win. And Devin Booker's a beast. He's probably the best player on that team. Kevin Durant, experienced and veteran, obviously a champion as well. And Chris Paul's a veteran right there. He knows how to get there. He knows what it takes to make it to the finals. Now, it's like I said, if you would just add more bullets to the gun if you had Draymond Green there by the end of this season. Frank Minefield. Bentley, Smith. Almost game almost finished right here. Eric Ball. Steve Young. All right, another Hall of Famer. After Joe Montana retired from the team, Steve Young. Well, actually, he retired to the team. He ended up being released and he ended up going with the Kansas City Chiefs for a while. Ended up wearing number 19 for the Chiefs, and Steve Young took over. Steve Young was really good because he could pass, but he could also rush as well. So he was a good rushing quarterback as well. And he held the rushing quarterback yards for a good while until Michael Vick broke it. But this guy was a left-handed thrower and ended up winning the 1994 Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP that year too as well. Yeah, I'm about out of sleeves now, so I only got 2 sleeves. I gotta get some more later. Yeah, this card's a good one. I don't know how much it'll be worth, but yeah, the centering's pretty good. The pitcher, the bio's really awesome. Mike Cutler, Hick, Dave Meggett, Derek Hill. What? And then gonna end up going to a convention later on this month. See if I can get some nice cards, some trades, some sell off as well. Been wanting to get a signed Edmund Smith card. Hopefully I can get one now. I also want to get a Manu Ginobili autograph card as well. The card stores I keep going to don't have any Manu Ginobili. I also like a Deion Sanders as well signed. I saw some on Amazon, but I don't think I would trust those on Amazon. They're probably fake. And they say they're authenticated, but I don't know that. And I would like to see it up front before I personally buy something like that. Dan Thompson. Hall of Fame Jim Kelly right there. Ray Carew. James Dixon. Ray Newsom. For Mike Owen. Willie Childress. Yeah, I would like to get some really great cards at this convention coming up. I've seen some guys spend like tons of money at those conventions. I saw one guy spend like $1,000 on just cards only alone, man. This guy must be rolling in with a lot of money. And the box is empty. This will be the last hand set right here. See what good cards I get right here. David Green, Eric Allen. Neil Anderson, Rob Anderson, Dingo Hackett, Herschel Walker, Hall of Famer, Bob Humphrey, Fred Marion, Jeff Query, Lorenzo White, Pat Schwilling, Joe Phillips, Don Beebe. That's a weird name. Don Beebe, Billy Ray Smith. For some reason, I was about to say Billy Ray Cyrus. I don't know why I was about to say that, but. Jeff Jacko, John Holland, Keith Millard, John Elway, all right, Hall of Famer. Gotta put that in his sleeve later. Richard Dent, Hall of Famer. Greg Harrison, John Settle, Mike Johnson, Robbie Hubbard, Lawrence Taylor, all right, Lawrence Taylor. This is one of the cards I've been looking for. Look at that. That was a great bio, great picture. Yeah, the card's good. Sharp corners. We'll put that in the sleeve later. Boomer Edison, Hall of Famer. Leon White. Brad Muster. Eric Metcalf. Kevin Ross. Eddie Murray. Elliot Packett. Dan Rio, Hall of Famer right there. Mike Singletary. Roger Vick. James Brooks. Barry Sanders, all right. Damn, that's a great card. Sharp corner as well. Put that in the sleeve later. Jeff Dameron. Bruce Smith, great defensive end. Yeah, this was a great play, defensive player. Can you imagine having Reggie White and Bruce Smith as your defensive lineman? That's got to be a quarterback's worst fucking nightmare. Dwayne Bucket, Bo Jackson. This is a great card. Phil Simms. Troy Aikman, all right. Troy Aikman, Hall of Fame, 3-time Super Bowl, 8-time Pro Bowler. And I like his Wingstop commercials, so. Art Monk. Reggie Habrobby, Jason Buck, John Taylor, Leslie O'Neal, Jaws, Brett Woodward, Willie Gault, Farlack, Jim Everett, John Stevens, and the great Jonah Montana, the last one. So that concludes the series 1 and 2 of the NFL football score. Great cards, great Hall of Famers, great role players as well. Later on, I had to do research and check to see how much cards are these worth. I would definitely say I got my money back and more, because some of these cards are really valuable. For example, the Lawrence Taylor one is worth $50. Then the other one, the WAC, was worth some money as well. The Junior Seau rookie card is worth a lot of money. And not to mention these Hall of Famers are over here in this stack right here. So later on, I'm going to check to see how much these cards are worth and add it up in total, see how much we made back plus a little bit more. No, scratch that. I would think we made quite a little bit more. And to see which one I would take to get traded at the convention or sell. So I would thank you all for watching this. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for the likes, the views. I really appreciate it. And please continue to watch my channel. Hit the like button, the subscription button. It's that corner button that says subscribe. And have a good weekend. Enjoy Super Bowl. And we're off we go.